You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. Very good, Keith. From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's X Factor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's X Factor After Show.
That sound can mean only one thing. With over 27 million weekly downloads, listened to in 75 different countries, we are your one stop, one destination for true after-show entertainment. We are your unauthorized after-show for X Factor Season 3, Episode 13. I am JC, and across the table, who do we have?
Greetings, I'm Jeffrey Masters.
I'm Jason Ikeler.
Jeez, how do you compete with that?
I know, you should shout. I'm Jason Ikeler.
And I'm, yeah. He is.
And of course, we missed it last week.
I know, you guys,
Yeah.
I'm back. I made it.
Where the hell were you?
Dude, just cashing checks and breaking necks.
Like a boss.
Here we go, guys. Welcome to another show. And I say we are the unauthorized because we're going to let it flow. We are really going to tell you what really happened, our true opinions. These two don't hold it back.
Never.
YouTube loves you guys. And of course, our show would not be complete without the man running the ones and twos, Mr. Stephen Lemieux.
Who's that guy next to you, JC?
That is Nick Collins. He's an Aries, Gemini rising. He likes long walks on the beach.
Closer.
Oh.
Yeah. That's Nick Collins. He's the celebrity interviewer to the stars, and also don't you sell houses to the stars as well?
I do it all, man. You got a leaky sink.
This is great, but let's talk about me.
Okay. Get to know our host. Okay, so, all right, let's get into the show. Enough of the pleasantries.
I like that host spotlight. That was kind of cool.
You like it?
Yeah, cool.
It's all right.
We'll have to give you more shine. Come on.
Because they forgot about me.
We would never forget about you. You're actually the top host in the Philippines. You really are. You really are.
What's the Philippines?
I've got a big following in Brazil. Deal with it.
All right,
Like
guys.
Brazil.
Huge in China, okay? There's a lot of people there.
I need a gavel to settle us down.
I know.
We're here to talk about the show. So overall thoughts, what did you guys think? And don't hold back.
Wow. Are you sure?
Why would I? I think it's Team Demi. It's all about Team Demi. I think she has the only talent.
Oh, the only talent?
Yeah. Did Astura?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think she's got a really good team.
Anyone want to counter? What do you guys think?
I had some favorites in every category. I was really excited by the live shows because I think we saw a lot of people stepping it up, and I think we saw the judges coaching people in some very positive ways. And by judges, I mean everybody except for Paulina.
Yeah, that would be my one note after tonight. Fire her.
I feel so bad for everybody on her team.
Now, are we jaded, Nick? I mean, we've been through so many of these seasons of these shows.
We've been through the trenches.
Yeah, we have. I mean, come on. And this is like our 57th series together here. So,
I know it.
But I think if we're jaded, so is America.
What?
If we're jaded, so is America. Everybody's seen all these shows. You know what I mean?
Jaded.
It just means you have to be that much better.
Okay.
You do. I just don't think that the talent is really where it should be this season. But I mean, hey, you got to deal with what you got, right?
Yeah, you know what? I kind of felt like we were seeing new artists. Like I can't believe it's top 12 because I don't feel like I know anybody yet.
So basically, you're telling me it's like kissing your sister. Okay, so
No, I didn't say that at all.
Maybe
it's
my
like-
brother.
There was no mention of siblings.
no, but it's okay. That's what you guys are saying. You're underwhelmed.
Is that what happens when you kiss yours?
I'm very underwhelmed.
You're underwhelmed?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Only child. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's start off with Paulina Rubio. I had to get very Mario there.
Yeah,
like that.
I like that too.
I was into it.
I'm into it.
I'm into it.
Yeah, all right. Well, there's a new wrinkle with Paulina.
On her face?
No. She brought someone back. A wild card. Josh Levi came back. Did he deserve to come back?
I thought he did because I think he's one of the most marketable.
Okay.
But I don't think his performance was a comeback performance. It's like, okay, you're leaving again. Bye-bye.
Totally agree. He's not going to pull a Melanie Amaro. He's not going to be in the Super Bowl commercial with Elton John falling through weird trapdoors. He's got a great look. I think he's very marketable. I literally wrote down whatev for his performance. I just was speaking of Kissing Your Sister, very underwhelmed, and I just think that it's. I think that they maybe brought someone back just for suspense.
So they do that every year, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
do they?
Essentially.
I don't remember if they did one last season.
They did Diamond.
Melanie. Wasn't Melanie brought back?
No, that's
first
season 1.
I think last season was Diamond.
Diamond White.
Ooh. Yeah, Diamond White.
I mean, I love the clip with him and his mom's in the background, oh, I love you, I believe in you. That was sweet. That was touching. But the first, he would last week's performance was not that great. He was off the whole time, and then this performance, the first 15 seconds, just were kind of off. He
was very flat, and then his runs were just so sloppy. But I think again that falls back to the coach because he's so young. He needs somebody to say hey, you need to nip that in the bud. And Paulina's well, you got to have a great energy. Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, nip it in the butt or don't do the run.
Yeah, and then when you mess it up, you only have another 15 seconds of the song, so you can't even make up for it.
Yeah, what is the 40-second songs tonight?
Yeah, we didn't get enough meat of the song from the artist.
Right.
It was the little iTunes preview. I want the whole thing.
I think you get a longer preview now. And
It's longer than that.
So without offending Jason here, so do we blame Demi on this?
This is Paulina.
I'm sorry. Do we
never blame Demi.
No, never. do we blame Paulina? She had a second chance with him, and I wrote that in my notes as well, that I believed he was off key until we got that backing track, till we got the background.
Yeah. I like his upper register too. I think his higher part of his voice is more pleasing to the ear.
Well, that's what sucks though, because I think he is super talented, but he needs coaching.
He needs voice lessons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like we said last week, we thought we could see him on Disney, Nickelodeon. He's got a star kind of twinkle to him, but just maybe the vocals, he needs to be coached just a little bit more.
A lot more.
I feel a lot of the contestants are relying heavily on the backtrack. They really kind of just.
Oh yeah.
They just kind of fade out once the backtrack kicks in.
Which is stupid because then I feel you could have taken anyone who's been voted off and just stick them in the top 12 and they all get the star. And I feel they're trying to make it almost like it's an award show where every performance has to be great and less of a competition.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe this person didn't need any help. How about Carlos Guevara? The half Salvadorian, half Greek singing What's Going On by Marvin Gaye.
Boring.
Yeah, probably my least favorite contestant in the competition.
Really?
Yeah. But despite that, I think this was my favorite performance of his vocally. I saw improvements with him.
Definitely improvement from last week.
Yeah, and I didn't think it hurt. I hate to say this, but the makeover where he got a haircut, they put a nice jacket on him,
nice
a
camo
camo. Yeah. It made him look like the part, and I believed it more.
But I think after watching this performance, I don't necessarily know who he is as an artist. And I felt more like I was watching a high school talent show.
Yeah.
It was okay, he has a good voice, but who is what kind of album is he going to put out after this performance? I have no idea.
Is he a pop star, Nick?
No, I don't think he's a pop star. I don't think he's gonna make it after tomorrow. I don't think he's gonna make it. I do like that he kind of toned down the whole John Mayer thing.
Right.
Yeah.
He just was really. I don't know. I feel he was just going for this whole John Mayer vibe, and it kind of gave him. It made him look like he had a bad attitude for whatever reason. But
I think that could have been the hats.
No, but that goes to say what you were saying, Jason, that he's trying to find himself as an artist.
Yeah. And I think it again falls back on Paulina. The only person on her team that knows who they are as an artist is Carlito, but that's how he came into the competition.
Yeah.
And I think these younger kids that are good singers need to kind of find their ground, and she's not helping them.
Or they need to kind of, for people like him, stay out of the competition, find yourself, and then audition. If the competition stays around next year.
Yeah.
But even if you know what kind of artist you are, it's hard to just sing Motown and be that same artist.
But I think if you're great, you can do that. And if you're on one of these singing competition shows where millions of people watching, you should be great, and there's no excuse.
Yeah.
So I think we're pretty much all on the same vibe that Carlos may be in jeopardy tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
But here's someone I think we might be a little divided in. Carlito Oliveira.
Okay, what I like about Carlito is he brings Carlito to every performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know exactly how he's going to sound, and it's every song sounds like him. That being said, I think he's a horrible vocalist.
Really?
Yeah. It was just very shaky. The chorus wasn't horrible, but it's just underwhelming again.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I don't personally think he's horrible, but he slowed down Stop in the Name of Love, like an interesting choice. It really showed off his vocal, and I think what it showed off was that he's a good singer, but he's not fantastic.
But do we need that? This is the X Factor, and the guy's the hot young Latin package. That's what.
But I think part of the package is having the talent.
Now I heard. I need to verify this. He was actually part of Menudo, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you might. I don't know if you can look that up, Jason. And I liked him better this week than last. And I know Simon didn't like him. And so did Paulina. She agreed with Simon. I actually thought he was better this week than last.
I thought his performance last week was like what you would expect from him. I wouldn't expect to see this kind of performance if I was going to a show. I thought it was very Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah, for me it was very Bruno Mars, except Bruno Mars is a fantastic
Exactly.
voice.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can like sell these slow songs.
Yeah. If you're gonna slow down a song like that, like you have to kill it. You have to kill, and like it has to be so different. And it just wasn't. It wasn't for me. I mean, I do think he has a pretty good voice, but this did not show it off.
No, and from a performance standpoint, I hate when singers close their eyes because you can't like connect with them, and it's impossible.
He is from Menudo.
Wow.
See, so
And he was in a movie.
yeah.
Why do they keep that secret?
They mentioned it in an interstitial, I believe, or like some little web, little 30-second hit.
I feel like that's the thing on the X Factor is they want you to think that everybody like started from the bottom.
Right.
That he's the
Now they're here.
barista from California.
Yeah.
His
Or even
backstory
when-
was like, I'm a barista,
Even
I'm
with
poor.
Rachel
Like,
Potter, like I don't want her to have to go work at the bar again. Like
Yeah.
she was on Broadway. She's not working at a bar.
We're revealing all the secrets
Yeah.
here. So for sure, well, let's move on, I guess, to finally. Oh, actually, I'm going to do it with my eyes closed because I want to, like you said, you hate people that are doing it with their eyes closed. Mr. Tim Olsted.
You know what you're gonna say about closing your eyes?
What?
Tim sounds better with your eyes closed. Because if you don't watch him, he sounds incredible. He has a great voice, but he's so boring to watch. Like I just want to slap him to give him some personality.
This week he showed personality.
I thought it was better this week too.
I thought vocally he was great.
I thought he really took the note to like get out of it and like show who he was, and he was like smiling. He really loosened up. Sometimes it was a little like of a maniacal smile of like I'm gonna smile because I have to.
Yeah.
Simon told me to. But I really thought he was like he's getting better, and I think he's growing leaps and bounds compared to any other.
I think
he's got a voice.
His trajectory is just—it's going to be through the roof. I
agree.
It's that we've talked about it. We were avid fans of duets. He reminds me of John Glosser, I believe that was his name, or Josh.
Oh, I love his voice. I think he's the best male vocalist in the competition. I'm just insanely bored watching him. And that's with all these lights and a huge choir behind him.
Yeah, I think he's a really good vocalist. Actually, I do actually really like him. Like, I want to see him, kind of grow through this. And the thing is that when you have such raw talent, which I think he has, I think a lot of people are reaching for that raw talent that they think they have. But I think that he came into this really, with that.
Yeah.
And just because you have raw talent doesn't mean it's going to translate to like moving and shaking on the stage.
Yeah.
Like he has it, and he needs to develop something to go with it.
Do you think he's more Josh Groban or Donny Osmond?
Oh man, I don't know if either one
I think
is
Donny
like,
Osmond.
Let us
He kind of
know.
looks like Donny Osmond.
I kind of hear like a country. I hear a country twang into it, though. You know. I just think that he is such a hard worker who wants to be here. Not that they all don't, but he is taking the notes and improving by leaps and bounds each time. And I find myself really liking his performances more and more. I think we could be surprised how long he stays in the competition. I hope so, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see him perform again just to see what he can do, but I think the notes he's taking are from the other judges and not Paulina, I guess.
That's true.
Let us know if you're watching us. If you're watching us live on AfterBuzzTV.com, hello. But if not, make sure to go to iTunes, YouTube. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about all our comments because we're letting it rip from now on. Actually, this is our true opinion, and we got some insider stuff as well. So give us 5 stars if you can, especially for look at Nick's suit. Hello.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's not really a suit, but
blazer.
from the waist up, I guess.
Together, you guys have like a suit going on.
We totally do.
We're half suits together. So
I mean, look at his
we're the
vest and
bottom
tie
of
and
the
pocket
Notes
square.
t-shirts.
all
If you're
right.
watching, just keep the camera on them, please.
Moving on to the drama with Ilona Santiago, SATs or Motown Week.
Oh my God.
It's too dramatic to talk about.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God, she goes to school? I can't believe it.
I know.
How dare she?
She should quit.
Okay, Ilona.
Seriously.
Yes.
Great voice.
Uh-huh.
I felt like I was like at a theme park watching a performance. Just very corny and over the top. And I don't mind choreography or dancing if it goes and complements the song, but I didn't think it went together.
Okay.
It didn't.
It was
didn't.
just-
She looked like a cheerleader coming out of there. and-
Yeah, exactly what Simon said he didn't want to happen.
Yeah.
I think I want
yeah.
to add to what Jason said last week. I think the moving throws off her vocal quality,
Yep.
her vocal tone. So she's a good singer, but by the movement she loses some of that power and that range. So I think I'd like to have her just be stationary for a song. Even though Demi, I think, said it, in today's market we want movement. I think she was talking about Lily McLeod.
Yeah.
But I want her to stay stationary just to see if we can hear her voice.
Well, and I think there's a difference between, like, if you look at somebody like Demi doesn't use background dancers or anything. She just commands the stage. And I think that's what she needs to do, lose all of that, because I think it takes away from her vocals. Mm-hmm. And she's one of the few people in the competition who can actually sing.
I'm always shocked by how good of a singer she is, and I was very impressed this week with her movement because I think she sold it.
Okay.
I didn't think it was cheesy, and I was shocked by how well it came across.
Huh.
That being said, I think that she has the Sasha Fierce thing, where she can command a stage and she can like sell a song like no other, and then when she's like behind the stage, like off stage, she's like just boring as shit. Have you ever seen like a?
She was stressed. She had the SATs.
Oh, I don't care. I'm just like shocked by how much personality she shows while performing, and then like camera confessionals. I'm like, okay, like is she sleeping?
I mean, that doesn't really bother me, though. It's like, if you could turn it on when you need to, then more power to you.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't even notice that, like, I was into her moves. I was into the moves. I didn't think that it took away from her vocals. Because, like you guys said, I was surprised. I'm always surprised when she sings. I'm like, this time,
I just thought it added, like, a corny factor to it that didn't need to be there because I think she's just super talented.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out who's the Simon of tonight's group in our crew. I'm going either between Nick and Jason. Who is the Simon?
We're all a little
We're all
cynical
little
here.
bitches.
I think we all are. No. The other problem I think she's going to have, tell me if you guys agree, during the final montage when they showed everybody, they showed her and I said, oh yeah, she was really good. And my point is that I never remember her. And Ian, that's saying that she's good, and I can't remember her.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know how that's going to fare in the competition.
Mm-hmm.
I think, too, because overall everybody's so bad that you don't like to think there's more than one good singer in the competition.
Right. Speaking of good singers, though, Kaya.
Absolutely.
All right.
Best performance of the night.
Best
hands
vocal.
down.
Yeah.
Best
By far.
vocal, but everybody got on her last week for having no personality. I thought she had so much personality in the performance.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like all the dancing and that kind of stuff behind her, but it doesn't matter because her vocals were on point.
Was it an unfair advantage? I mean, this is her week, if you think about it. Like, her and Lily McLeod, I would think, would excel because she's a throwback type of singer.
Yeah.
She's got that old school kind of voice. Simon even said it himself. Amy Winehouse. I mean,
I said that last week, Simon.
yes. I think Simon was watching the show.
He must have been.
He was.
I thought she kind of sounded
Tweeted
a little
us.
bit of, I got a little Fantasia Barrino in her voice, too.
Really?
Which I love. But her runs are so flawless. Like, she can just, like, throw them out there and they're, like, right on point. Nobody in the competition can sing like her.
Her voice is just so interesting. It was the same thing that Carlito slowed down the song and really showed off the voice. My Girl, to me, was a slow choice, but it showed off her voice phenomenally.
Yeah. But she's like, I've
loved
got
it.
sunshine.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this girl has the best
Really?
voice in the competition, the
whatever.
most unique voice in the competition, and I mean, I think she'll be in the top two.
She better than CC
I
Fry?
think she'll be in the top two.
Wow.
Top two?
Yeah.
Better than CC Fry?
Well,
Sorry, Nick.
That's a whole other Pandora's box.
If you've been watching our show for the last 2 seasons, which I hope you have been, Nick and CC Fry,
We're
like,
involved.
Are you guys really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I think she noticed when I liked one of her Instagram photos. I think.
We're gonna have to save that for news and gossip. So
I know, shoot.
What?
I have no idea what I'm talking
Jeff's
about.
like, what?
I just blacked out.
Let's move on to Ryan Page. And this is a tricky one for me. It's Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love her story. I love her, but I just thought tonight she was off key. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say. For me, I didn't feel it, and I'm just trying to judge this, like you said, with my eyes closed. And for me, I didn't connect, and everyone else loved it. They all loved it, but I don't know if they're afraid to criticize her or what. I just want to be constructive. Maybe just. For me, I just didn't feel it.
See, I completely disagree with you, actually.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I thought she took this song and made it her own in an authentic way where she brought her country twang to it, and I'll talk about Rachel Potter later
agree.
because I don't think that's authentic. But she took it, made it her own. Not necessarily my favorite way to arrange the song, but I felt like she made it a Ryan Page song, and I thought her vocals were way better than they were last week.
I agree. And again, she's a very interesting voice. And I love country music. I like her country twang. The problem with her is that song did not have a climax.
No.
It's building, and then 45 seconds later, just kind of like it ended. And it didn't have the big end build for me.
Could it be because there's so many contestants that they have to cut the time on the songs?
Yeah, but you still have to have like the big climactic number for it. I just felt it like going somewhere and then it ended. I don't know if you guys felt that.
I feel like this song is like, I mean, when the original is just very, upbeat and positive and everything. And I feel like Ryan, her personality, that's like what her personality is. I think she's one of the few people who knows her identity, and she thrives off of upbeat kind of full of life songs. And I didn't see that in the song. And to me, she had no personality tonight. And
really?
And she has so much personality.
That's because we didn't see the hair flips.
We didn't.
I love that.
Well, her hair wasn't getting in her face.
She showed a lot of personality.
I did too.
I'm gonna listen to. I'm gonna watch it again, Jason. Just maybe I just missed it or something. I just, just for me, it just seemed tonally. It didn't sing for me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think there is such a difference between all of the other judges and Paulina, because if you look at the way for Demi for these girls, how she mentored them. Like the note she said, you're like, oh, I get that. Like, make sure you do that. Same with Simon, same with Kelly. And so I think the boys are at an unfair advantage. But I think the girls have it because that's exactly what Demi Lovato is doing in the industry today.
Yeah.
So they kind of have the best mentor, I think.
Looking at Ryan's songs week to week, too, I feel like we're kind of singing the same exact song. It's good, and I really enjoy it, but it's not. It's like the same, like growing ballad, and it's like. I feel like it's the same like candy bar, different rapper, different lyrics.
Do you think we will see her like in an up-tempo type of song? What's that going to do to her? Is that going to put her in jeopardy, perhaps? Can she pull it off?
Because I don't want to get like superficial, but I feel like it's part of her story. Like she's being marketed as the story of like the underdog, and so I feel like if she sings something different, she might lose that.
Here's what I think is like. I know that the judges all love her, and I think that she's. I think that we all kind of like her too.
Absolutely.
But now that America's voting, I think she's gonna leave a lot sooner than we think. And and we saw that with Rachel Crow, who I thought was by far the best of that season. And I just think, when America takes the reins, a lot of different things happen.
You brought up a good point. Last week, she was tracking in last place in her group by America's vote.
Wow.
But that's people online, too. I think I said this last week, but I feel like older audiences will like her more.
Okay. All right.
I think they
But
will
are they
like
watching
her.
the show?
Yeah. I think they will also like Tim. I think Middle America will love him.
Absolutely.
Middle
He's
American
a nice guy.
moms.
Yeah. He is a church boy. Like they'll eat that up.
That's the biggest voting base we've noticed in most singing competition is the South.
If you want to win one of these competitions, sing a contemporary Christian song and you're golden.
Absolutely.
And Tim had that feel.
Yeah.
He does, yeah. That's why I'm so excited for the live shows to see like what America's opinions are, because I respect all of yours and I agree with the majority of them. But I think we have a very like interesting kind of like trained, biased opinion. We've been in the industry, we've studied performance. We Jason has an MFA in singing voice.
Let's hear it.
Prove it. Let's hear it.
I'm retired.
Oh, sorry.
We're going to have to bring you
You
back,
can see him
Jason.
on YouTube. He toured Japan for a while.
I did.
He went by Josh Groban.
You may have heard of me. I wrote a little hit called "You Raise Me Up."
Yeah. You can't tell under the glasses and wig, but he's Dead ringer.
Loved you with Charlotte Church. Okay, so moving on to Kelly's group of the over 25s. Them and the groups are my favorite for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Me too.
There's just so much going on there. I think there's more stories there.
It's the exact reason that I hate Carlos, because he's like a baby and doesn't know his voice. These people are grown up. They know their voices. They're here for a good reason, because
You
they
think
can't
the
give it up.
groups know their voices?
You think the over
I'm sorry,
25s
I
know
meant
their
over
voices?
25s. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do.
You're scaring me for a
Oh,
second.
shoot.
I think
Over
the groups. I think the
25s.
groups this year is a wash. Just a wash.
I can't name
I think the
them.
groups are disgusting.
Groups.
Are we talking about groups that are
God.
over 25?
Well, we sidetracked for a second just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I got.
'Cause they're just so
excited.
Let's
horrible.
jump to groups.
You know what? I want a segment with like Jason, like the last 2 minutes of every episode. He can just get the Jason gripes out of the way. You know what? I hate this and this, and just let you rip, man.
Just gotta let it out.
Yes, Jason lets it out.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
It
Next
doesn't
up.
have to be anything to do with the show. It's just whatever you hate, man. I want to know.
Here's
Don't
what I
mind
hate
me. I'm
this
having hot
week.
flashes, but don't.
Oh,
worry about it.
hello.
Let's just keep going.
Which reminds me of segments. Actually, guys watching us at home, we have a thing we'll be starting next week. We have Chris Tronsden. He's a red carpet celebrity reporter for Front Row Features and Pacific Rim Video, and he'll be backstage every week. And what we are asking you watching at home is tweet us questions for the contestants, and we will send them to Chris so he can ask on your behalf, and we'll air it on the show next week. We'll take the best one and air it live. So
So it better be good.
It could
Yes.
be you.
And don't we have one this week too?
I don't think we got there in time. I was waiting to get a tweet from him, and I did not receive anything since we didn't make the announcement. So I think we're going to save it for next week.
JK, LOL.
And don't ask questions for the shitty contestants. Ask them for the good ones.
Yeah. If you want to know anything about Allison Davis, just ask me. I'll find out.
Well, we'll have to have her back on. There you go. All right, we got to move on. This is
We've got to.
our show, and we're already at minute 59. Okay, over 25s. Let's see. Let's start with Rachel Potter.
Rachel Potter.
Yes. What did we think? Did we love? Did we dislike? Nick.
No, I do like her, but I did not like her this week at all. I thought that she came out there like doing the last song from Grease, Olivia Newton-John
Yep.
style. It was freaking me out. And I don't know. I don't know. I did not like it.
I agree because
As
I
simply
feel
as
like
that.
vocally I like this performance way better than last week.
Yeah.
But I feel like she's not country and she's faking being a country artist because she lived in Nashville for a short period of time.
Why do you think she's not country?
Because her voice is like Broadway. And it just feels very like Olivia Newton-John, like very, very like white girl pretending to be country girl. And I'd like her to just lose that and sing me a Celine Dion ballad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I don't agree with that. I did think that something was off with this performance. I do not think it was her fault. I thought it was like I could hear the music more than I could hear her. And it's like a competition selling her. Let me hear her voice. I couldn't like really decipher her voice from the track.
But it may have sounded
But don't you feel like her performance was very like campy and over the top?
yeah.
And
Facial expressions were killing me.
That's not country. Country's all about the story and you know what I mean?
She sang a campy country Motown song, and that just doesn't work.
I think she's
Yeah.
a beautiful voice.
I think she's
Oh,
got
I
a
think
beautiful
she's got a
voice
great
too.
voice too. I don't think she knows who she is as an artist.
I really like her. I think she's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree.
But this it does not do it for me.
So you think she's forcing herself into country when she
Yep.
doesn't belong there? Mm-hmm. Wow. I don't know that if she doesn't go into the country niche, which can accept people like her, I don't know that like the rest of music could.
Why can't
Yeah,
you
but
just
I
be
feel
all
like it's
American
really
Girl?
hard to break into country if you're not like a good songwriter or like a super like have a Miranda Lambert type voice that's very country. And I think she'll have just as hard of a time.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think she should go adult contemporary.
And then what kind of music would she be like compared to who's singing today?
But wait, he just said I wanted to go adult contemporary. But
Right.
according to this show, that's like the kiss of death. They brought it up towards the end of the show. Like, I see you doing adult contemporary, and everyone's like,
what do they
the
mean
top
by
40.
adult
But I think it's
contemporary? Who's
different.
that today?
Like Josh Groban,
Yes.
Michael Bublé.
those.
Like if she made like a Michael Bublé type album, I think that'd be perfect and she would kill it.
She couldn't sell a stadium like he does, though.
No way.
No, but she could play small clubs or
Yeah, but yeah.
How are we comparing Rachel Potter to Bublé though? Like that?
I think that's
Adult contemporary.
I think that's style of music she needs to be making.
But also that style of music, the people that sell are the sex symbols, and that means guys, because that's like women buying tickets.
Yeah.
Guys don't
Yeah.
buy tickets to go see like somebody like Rachel Potter.
But I don't think
Yeah.
somebody that like
Beautiful voice or not.
But do you think somebody that loves country music is gonna? Or if you look at the country music artists that are current right now, Casey Musgraves, Taylor Swift, or Miranda Lambert, or these are all songwriters who, and she's got. I don't think she's gonna fit in.
Like we could just ask the most simple question instead of trying to figure out where she would go. Can she even win this?
No.
Well, there we go.
I think she could make it to like top 5 or 4.
Yeah,
I would say top 4. I could
see that, but
She kind of has like a Brandy Clark thing. She could sing those songs.
She has presence. I will say that, and she knows she's a pro at it. But like you said,
Oh,
she's got to find herself. Does she think she's an older Taylor Swift? What pop country? I don't know.
Kelly keeps saying how wonderful she is to work with, and I think that maybe Rachel. I think that's so funny. She keeps saying that. First off, but I think that maybe Rachel will like take Kelly's notes, and I think Kelly's going to prove to be a really great mentor.
yeah.
Yeah, she's got experience doing this over in the UK as well. This isn't her first rodeo.
Yeah,
So
I'm really impressed by what she has to say always, to be honest.
Yeah. Speaking of someone here, this is gonna. I don't know. Did you have something to say at the end, Jason?
No,
I'm sorry.
no, I've set it off.
Something that's gonna divide the room. We're gonna get into fisticuffs here. Jeffrey Goot.
I don't want
Barf.
to talk about
Hate him.
He makes me
I don't think it's
ashamed.
divided. I think we all
He makes me ashamed to be from Michigan.
Pretty sure we
Did you
all
like him, Mario?
You just called me Mario. No, it's not that. He's not as bad as you guys.
Oh, he's horrible.
What is so bad about him? Vocally, he is not bad. Listen to him.
But look at him. He is ruining his voice.
I was kind of
Ruining it. It's technically horrible. His whole throat flares up and he looks like he's gonna rape you.
I don't like him, but to stand up for him, his voice gets better each time. This was the best vocal for him.
His vocal,
I don't
you
care for
cannot
it.
say his vocal was bad tonight. If you had your eyes closed, would you say he had a bad vocal?
I'd say I'd rather drink a gallon of bleach than listen to him sing.
I would say it's a tense vocal. He has a lot of vocal tension.
So much vocal tension, but nobody is criticizing him for that.
I don't know why.
And he just sounds like Nickelback, but
Oh
worse.
God, I hate Nickelback.
to me, he sounds like he's singing the exact same song every single time, no matter what song it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with I think they do at the Roxy metal school, right? Yeah, metal school.
Yes.
It's where it's they do these. It's like a hair band night kind of thing from the '80s, I guess. That's where he belongs, and I don't think he can get any farther than that. He sounds like a metal hair band singer. Put a wig on that guy, and he'll fit right in. But the other thing, which you mentioned too, is I don't like looking at him.
No.
Is that wrong to say?
No.
I just don't like looking at
And
him.
I think that's because he has absolutely no charisma and no personality when he sings.
The most
He's
personality he
dead.
has is his son.
I knew you were gonna do
That's
that.
the only reason he's on. If he didn't have a kid, he wouldn't be on the show.
No, yeah, please, if you're watching or listening, please tell us why you like him and why you're voting for
Or
him.
does anybody like him?
I don't know.
I don't think his vocals are that bad, but I'll agree with what Nick said. The fact is that he just will not fit in the X Factor pop top 40 market perhaps today.
Do you know
Where
when you're
will he
out
fit?
karaokeing and there's that same asshole that gets up and sings 5 times?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where
yeah,
he'll
and
fit
that's
in.
him.
That's where he fits in.
And he's covering Kid Rock or something, and you're like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
I just can't see anybody going to a concert or buying a record. I'm sorry.
And I feel like when he's up there, I feel like I can sense that he just deserves it. And I don't know.
He senses that he feels that way.
He's entitled, is what
Yeah.
He thinks he's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
see him
the second coming
connecting,
to-
performing with anybody in the audience.
No.
And now,
Unless douchey moms from the trailer park. That's his target audience. Am I right?
Yeah, it's doing it for himself.
So we're
Send
not,
your comments to
we're
YouTube,
not
please.
divided, right? And that's what we got.
Wait.
So
what do you,
he's
wait.
our clear
JC,
favorite.
what do you
That's what we're saying.
JC, what do you like about him?
I think his voice isn't as bad as we make it out to be. Yes, is he contemporary? Will we listen to him on Kiss or Amp Radio today? Probably not.
Then he doesn't deserve to be in the top 12 of a show where millions of people are watching.
Could be on K-Rock.
No.
Oh my God!
He
no.
should be performing on Hollywood Boulevard.
Moving
he's
on,
lucky.
we'll keep going for hours on this guy. Let's move
So
on.
I think he'll win.
Okay, there we go.
Can you imagine if he won?
Oh my God.
Yes.
This country is going to hell in a
We
handbasket.
would lose all 12
if
of
he
our
wins.
viewers.
I wouldn't do the show next year if he won.
I don't think
think
any of them
anyone's
get
gonna
one
win.
next year.
Moving on, let's move on to Lily McLeod.
My girl.
I love
His girl.
But did we love her today?
No. I think I like her, and I think she has a great voice and she's talented. Tonight felt a little pitchy, and this was the first night that I thought her voice sounded aged.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what I mean? It sounds like not in a bad way, but in a way like if you go to church and there's this like 7-year-old lady up there that's been singing, and you're like, oh, she's been singing her whole life.
Yeah.
And it sounds just very like tired almost.
I wanted to hear for a because I thought she was gonna kill it because it was Motown. Obviously, they chose a song that was kind of like, who are we talking about? Where it felt like it was gonna build up and then just never did. Right. It was kind of like that for me because I thought she was gonna hit those crazy highs and those crazy runs, and it just never got there.
There's a reason why that happened.
Why?
Because of what Simon told her last week. I think she got in her head.
Yeah.
And I wrote that I felt it was understated, a little too understated. I thought she held back. I didn't see the pitch problems. I did feel there was maybe 1 or 2. But outside of that, I just felt she held back so much that it just became like a average performance when we know she can blow the doors out of anything.
And that's why I think Simon doesn't know what he's doing this year, because she should be a Motown artist. That's who she is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she could get a job like in a cover band or something. I don't think she's going to have a career as herself, but she could do something like that. And he's trying to talk her out of that, and that's just going to confuse her. And obviously, it did. Yeah.
It's strategy, though. Remember, he's not her mentor, so he could be getting in her head just so that she loses the competition. He wants a group to win. That happened a lot in the first 2 seasons.
I wonder if that's why the show is bad, though, because his stakes are just for his team and not for the overall
Do you really
show.
think so?
Yeah, because he called her a goddess tonight. Last week he thought she was dated. I thought she was better last week. Am I wrong? I thought she was better last week.
Maybe he should not be able to judge and produce.
Wait, so you guys think that he would, in theory, sabotage other artists to get into their head?
Not that it's the first 2 seasons, especially between Ellie Reed and Simon, they would have these like little mind games, and they would go at each other, and they would purposely say the artist that their competitor was, mentoring wasn't as good as they were that week, just so they could get in their head, they could position their team to win. I'm just saying that. I'm putting myself out there, but I guarantee a lot of people that have followed the show will agree.
No, I completely agree.
So,
That never crossed my mind.
I think he just says, snarky things just for the hell of it. I don't know. I think he's just trying to get in everyone's head.
But you know what? I used to respect Simon because he would always say the honest thing. But then somebody will be horrible and he'll be like, that was a great performance. And you're like,
Circa Restless Road.
Yeah, Circa, what the hell happened to you? Simon?
Sorry, my biggest problem with the Lily McLeod, sorry. Let me paraphrase this by saying that I love her. I think her voice is so good, but she keeps singing ballads, and she's mastered the ballad for me on this show, and you can't keep singing it. Show me something new. There's so many different kinds of music.
Yeah. She's extremely consistent, and I mean, I think if she has like a bad performance, you're like, well, she was like really good the other time, so I can't really say anything about her.
I think she'll also have trouble that she started out on such a massively high level. Her audition, she sang a 4-minute song.
It is kind of, for these competition shows, to peak in the very beginning is dangerous.
It is very.
Now, we debated, we kind of went at it for the over 25s. That's why I like these types of groups. Speaking of groups, I know we're going to cut our teeth here on the groups, starting with Jeff's favorite, Restless Road.
Oh my God. Okay, let me tell you that something that is not fair. Simon's groups sound theoretically good because they have so much backup track.
Yep.
So we talked about this last week. So many background vocals. If you cut those, you would laugh. Restless Road, they look like a joke. Didn't it feel like you were watching like the In Memoriam at the Emmys when their faces were shot up there in the thing?
100%.
Horrible.
It's very Motown.
They sound so bad. They look bad together. They can't sing. They are talentless.
So here's the thing.
Tell me how you really feel, Jason.
Sorry, I get really passionate because there's so many better people out
Don't
there.
sugarcoat it, please.
Yeah.
I like the majority of things about them, like who they are, like who they stand for, like the kind of music that are 3 guys singing country, their song choices, their like the ways of the song. What am I saying? Except for the 3 of them, personally, as singers. Like I like the group and what they are, but except for them, there's not, as we said, there's not a lead singer.
No.
The one on the right has like that very low voice, semi-interesting, and the one on the left has dead eyes, but like might be attractive.
And then there's Dumbo the clown.
I just think that there's no stars in the group.
No.
There's no chemistry is what there is.
And I'm surprised with Simon like loving them and backing them, because if you look at the groups he's put together in the past, like Fifth Harmony or
They've
One
been
Direction,
good.
they've been good, and all of the girls, and I didn't like Fifth Harmony on the show, but all of the girls had personality, and they were cute and fun to watch, even when, and that's the difference between, I think Sweet Suspense is just as horrible, but at least the girls are fun to watch, and they've got like spunk, and they're cute. And like One Direction, guy group, every one of those guys is good looking, even if they're all good singers, but at least if they're good looking, then I get what he's trying to do, but they're not even good looking, so they don't have anything going for them.
So what you're saying is you want Restless Road and sparkly stuff next week.
Exactly.
Maybe get some. I don't want Restless Road to do anything except for leave.
Yeah. Wow. I would like to see them leave.
We need to change the flow of the show. So let's speak about someone that I think we all kind of like.
Alex and Sierra?
Yes. Jeff, take it, please.
Oh my God. First off, they're both very good singers. I think that America will love them because obviously they love seeing couples on Love, and they love seeing that genuine relationship on stage. And also we have some couples in America right now like Carmen, but that's not like Carmen and the pianist who might have a name. I don't know. Maybe he does. This is like front and center. We're a couple. We're in love. We're Alex and Sierra. Let me sing for you. Sit back, baby. Yeah.
Did you feel it, Nick?
I mean, I wasn't obsessed with their performance tonight, but I love them. I really do. I think that they can actually. I think there's a huge market for them because their style right now is actually really big. I'm totally blanking on like 3 examples, but there's like 3 really big bands that are really similar to them. Where
Sonny and Cher.
No, no, seriously, no.
Okay, we said Carmen. We said
It's just
Simon and Garfunkel.
no. It's like today bands.
Tegan and Sarah, or
Are you thinking the Civil Wars?
No.
I love the Civil Wars.
We're past it. We're past it. I think that they have the most unique sound.
Oh, Justin and Kelly.
Great movie.
From Justin to Kelly.
Yeah.
Great movie. Great film.
I love that duet.
Yeah. the
keeping it
director's
back
cut.
on the
Sorry, what were you
rails.
saying?
I mean, I just think they have the most unique sound. I think they're the most unique group and entity of this show too. And I just think that there is a huge market for them.
Oh, Jason's
I
gonna
like
bring the
them.
hammer.
I love
Jason's
them.
bringing the hammer.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm gonna hold you off. You know why?
Okay, you go
because I
first.
know you're gonna just kill it.
I'm gonna figure out what band they sound like. Yeah.
I'm a fan of theirs. I do like them so far. However, tonight I wasn't a fan. Tonight they didn't impress me as they have previous weeks, and I'll tell you why. And I think it could be because of song choice, because it was a mid-tempo song, and I think mid-tempo songs on reality singing competitions can be a curse. You either want a ballad or you want an up-tempo. You want either or. The mid stuff,
Because you have to have a big moment.
yes, you don't have a moment, and you don't go anywhere with the song.
That's something. That's
of
a
Monsters
great
and
point.
Men.
I've never.
They sound exactly like of Monsters and Men.
I wouldn't say that.
I would say of Monsters and Men is good.
Of like Mice and Men. That's a great
What?
point, JC. I've never thought about that, but I think that's very accurate.
Yeah, it's like I think I call it a little curse, and I actually liked Alex more than Sierra this week for the first time.
Yeah.
I've always thought.
I
agree.
completely agree
He has a
with
good
you.
voice.
Yeah.
I think they were so amateur. Like beyond amateur.
Really?
Every vocal trick she did was so fake. Like she'd try to grunt and it just sounded gross. I think she looks horrible on stage. She's pretty, but she looks so uncomfortable. I'm like, I'm smiling and in love with my boyfriend. And I hated everything about it.
I think I disagree with that. I will say critique-wise that they have the same arrangement each time. She starts singing, he joins in, he has a solo section, they end with a big yay!
That's their thing, though.
But don't you think it's
That's their
corny?
thing, and they're good at
It's
that.
the
But
same
like you said
thing
of
each
Monsters and
week.
Men, they have like these great harmonies and these great performances. They're just corny. It's very like Disney Channel, but without the auto-tune, so it's not good.
All right.
I don't know. I think they're good. I think they're really good.
Really?
I don't think
I do too.
Motown. I don't think Motown is their weak because
But I didn't think last week was their week or the week prior.
He's
But
hated them all
I
along.
see. But I feel like they have a lot of like their own original stuff, And I think that if we had a chance to hear that, like we did in their audition, they sang something like
Toxic.
Toxic was awesome. I thought that was awesome the way that they
See,
did
I
that.
think that's a cheap trick.
But that's what Jason looks beyond the veneer. He's saying, "Give me more. Give me. You've done the trick now for 4 weeks.
Yep.
Give me something else."
Well, we keep talking about people trying to figure out what kind of artists they are,
Okay,
and I
so-
think that they know exactly. They're the only people that know who they are. They
But
have
is that
a
really
thing.
an artist to take? How many people on these shows have we seen? Everybody thinks it's so creative to take like a Britney Spears song and make it folky. You know
I've
what I mean?
seen it, like, at 9
I've seen
clubs.
that.
Well, that was like that. I mean, that may not have been
I think
them.
like if
they
you think
had
of
to
a
choose
couple
something and
group
do
with a
it.
guy and a girl like the Civil Wars, it's who I compare them to. they are incredible singers. You know, their harmonies are great. You get goosebumps every time you hear them sing.
Yeah, that's
and I
true.
just don't think they cut it.
Okay.
Well, maybe they're not as good as the Civil Wars, but
Then they ain't gonna sell.
You know what will probably sell though is Sweet Suspenders.
Suspense.
Suspension.
You butcher the name every week.
They're
Jeffrey.
going to be gone soon. It's fine.
They are not going to be gone soon.
If those backup singers keep singing for them, they'll
Oh
be
my
fine.
God! It was all track tonight.
Do you remember when Hillary Duff used to sing back in the day, and it was like this 40-year-old lady doing her voice? That's what it reminded
Let
me
the
of.
rain fall down.
Yeah.
You bring up an awesome point, Jason. Is it an unfair advantage? Sweet Suspense had the backing track. It
The
started
whole time.
Yes, and we were all, ooh, they're incredible, amazing.
no,
but,
we saw past that.
No, but is it?
Yeah, we did.
Is it unfair for the other artists? They're not getting those same tracks.
Because
earlier.
they can't because they're solo
Of
acts.
course it is.
Yes, and America's maybe not picking up on that, or are they? And they're going to keep Sweet Suspense
I don't know
in here
because
forever.
that happened with Fifth Harmony a little bit last year.
It absolutely happened with them.
I hope America picks up on it because the girl in the middle is good.
like
The
her
other
a lot.
two girls, even everything they do is very like Disney Channel, but without the talent.
Oof. You know what? I don't hate them. I just don't know if they have talent or not because you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
You just hear the track.
Then I'm assuming that means no, though.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
I feel like they think they're on the show like Shake It Up or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like
Where it's like, you're brought on the show because you're a dancer, but we're going to make you sing.
Exactly. I think the middle artist, the one carrying that team, could have a career, but I mean, the two wing women, I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing.
They're just a very like young, cultivated team that Simon has like very well produced, but it's like just like well produced, not talent.
Yeah.
That's never happened before, has it?
I mean, what?
Yeah.
But I just think when Simon's put groups together in past seasons, they're all actually talented.
Okay. Well, let's see if next week they do like a stripped down song. Just the
They
three
should
girls.
make everybody on the show should have to do an acoustic performance.
Unplugged week on X
And we
Factor.
get like
brilliant.
Rachel and Kaya would be good.
Absolutely.
Well, also think about the past talent pools; those have just been better too. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times he's put groups together from solo artists who are actually pretty good or decent, and just didn't outshine really good artists. And just this year, I think we could all agree that it's probably the lowest talent pool we've seen.
All right, so with that said, we had another amazing episode.
We're so positive here.
I enjoyed it.
We're just bringing the truth. So
Yeah.
we're running out of show. Let's do some predictions. Or not.
Abracadabra, I predict that, I'm just going to keep talking, that Carlos will be done.
You think Carlos is going
And
home?
if I don't predict it, then I want
Well, you know
it.
what? Actually, let's back it up. Who was your favorite? We're going to be positive. Who was your favorite and who's going home? So we give you both sides of the argument.
Okay, favorite, I think, was Kaya.
Okay.
I can't remember. And then Alona stood out to me as well, surprisingly.
See, I forgot about Alona.
I was like,
That's
oh yeah,
bad.
she's like. Oh,
I mean, I always like Ryan. I just named all the young girls, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like Demi's team, actually. I think all... Not just because of Demi, but I actually think those are the most talented in the competition.
biased.
I think
But
Demi's gonna win.
Demi's biased at this one.
She's gonna win the X
Kaya
Factor.
was the best of the night, hands down. I think going home should be Restless Road. Unfortunately, they'll stay. Either Carlo or maybe Lily.
We'll go home.
Yeah.
You think Lily McLeod will go home?
I don't know if America's going to connect to her as well. Because I think X Factor has a very young audience.
Who's your favorite, JC?
Favorite tonight? I'm torn between. I always think Kaya's awesome. She's excellent, and I liked him this week. I did. No personality, but I liked his vocal
He's
tone.
great vocally
I
this
loved
week.
I loved his voice tonight. So, and unfortunately, I think Carlos is going to get lost in the shuffle. I really think it could be the end of the road for him.
I like Kaya. She's my favorite, and I think Carlos is gone.
So we all like Kaya.
Yeah, and we
all
We
hate
agreed
Carlos.
on something.
all said Kaya, and we, for the most part, except for Jason, agreed that Carlos may go.
Yeah,
home.
Carlos or Lily, I think. How many? Is it just one that we lose tonight?
I believe so. So, but right now we're losing all of us because that's the music we need to get out of here. But before we go
Peace.
anywhere, Where can they find you, Nick Collins?
JC, I'm glad you asked. They can find me on Instagram at Nick_Collins.
And Jeffrey.
Well, I'm glad you asked me as well, JC. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/JeffMasters1.
And the lovely Jason.
I cannot believe you asked. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jason Ikeler.
But wait, where can they find you?
Actually, you can find me. Actually, I'm going to give out my website. It's jcrubiotv.com. You can see everything I'm doing with AfterBuzz and actually the upcoming show OMTZ. So with that said,
OMFG.
And I'm all over X2.
we have to thank Steven for running the ones and twos. Thank you, Steven, once again.
Thank you.
So for Jeffrey, Nick, Jason, I'm JC. We're your AfterBuzz for the X Factor. Stay tuned for Nashville coming up next. Yeehaw!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.